Dew Point.
Yeah.
About you very much.
Welcome, everyone, to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Washington. If you'll all stand and please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll do roll call.
Praviti.
Here.
Nicely.
Here.
Chaplin.
Here.
Milam.
Here.
Reinhold.
Here.
Stevenson.
Here.
Brown. Here.
All present and accounted for. Next, you'll see the agenda. If there's no additions, deletions, or modifications, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as present.
Support.
Supported by Milam. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have a few presentation awards. I'd like to call our Chief, Brian Tyrell, for the first one.
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor, Board of Trustees, members of the community. It's good to see a full audience. You know, as always, I stand before you humble, representing this great department, and I got an opportunity to do something that is pretty rare. We've done a few of those. I don't know if this board has seen a citizen award, but I have the privilege of recognizing a Washington Township resident whose actions really demonstrated something that we value very deeply at the WTFD, a willingness to help others, especially during a time of great need. You know, before I go on, I would just like to ask Mike Cross to join me at the podium. That way they could put a voice or a face to the words, Mike. Thanks for being here. Board of Trustees, last month our department responded to a serious water-related emergency at Stony Creek Metro Park. I won't and don't choose to go into this. There's, certainly privacy issues, but I will say that it was a difficult and emotionally challenging incident for everyone involved. Multiple agencies responded, worked together in an extensive search effort. During that response, Washington Township resident Mr. Mike Cross was preparing to leave the park after spending the day at Stony Creek. Mike saw and heard the emergency response taking place. Rather than simply continuing on his way, Mike recognized that he might have something that could help. He approached our personnel and offered the use of his boat and the sonar equipment he had on board. You didn't have to do that. He simply saw people who needed help and decided to help. Mike spent more than 2 hours assisting our public safety, our firefighters, our water rescue team personnel in the search. Using the equipment on his boat, Mike ultimately located the individual we were searching for. That moment was undoubtedly difficult for everyone involved, but Mike's willingness to put his own time, equipment, and personal resources toward helping someone else's family is something that deserves to be recognized. And in my opinion, that is exactly what community service looks like. A strong community is built when residents recognize a need and are willing to step forward for help. Mike Cross did exactly that. On behalf of the Washington Township Fire Department, I want to sincerely thank you, Mike, for this action, your willingness to assist us during an extremely difficult time. At this time, I believe the supervisor will.
I don't know if Commander Officer Brian wants to come up. I'd like to present this Distinguished Citizen Service Award to Mike Cross in appreciation for recognition of your courage and selfless service and assistance to the Washington Township Fire Department and the Macomb County Sheriff's Office. So I want to thank you. Your willingness to help in a time of need represents the very best of our community spirit and service. So I'd like to thank you so much.
Can I spend another 30 seconds of your time, board? If it so pleases the board? You know, I can't leave the podium without just taking a moment to recognize the on-duty members of our department that were on duty that day. This gentleman right here is temporary Battalion Chief Brian Johnson. He's my most senior lieutenant. He is acting in a battalion chief role. I think you can tell incidents like this are among the most difficult calls for us and our personnel, that our personnel can encounter. High risk, low frequency issues like this drive us to be prepared for any response. Our crews responded quickly, worked closely with our public safety partners, and remained focused on the mission throughout the incident. Thank you. Battalion Chief Brian Johnson actually brought a lot of leadership and coordination to this very difficult situation. Agree? Thank you. It was actually Brian who brought Mike's actions to my attention. He wrote a very compelling email to me, and most of the words you heard tonight are Brian's. I just plagiarized them and reused them, so thanks. I want to just thank, obviously, you, Brian, and all of the on-duty that were there today, one of 3 shifts that exceed expectations at every contact. You handled the incident professionally, respectfully, and with genuine compassion for those affected, and I thank you for representing us so well. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to do another presentation. I'd like to call up Kaylee Manuel. So I don't know if all of you were aware, Kaylee here goes to Romeo Community School, high school, and she just won the under 17 world champion. It's not national, it's not state, it's world champion. So I'd like to, I won't read the whole thing, but I want to congratulate you on this high honor of representing not only our country, but our community. We're very proud of you, so thank you, congratulations on this. We've made you the very first championship award here at Washington Township. So you're the very first. So congratulations. I don't know, can we take a... Oh, you're right. Sorry. Okay. Anybody got any questions? No, I'm joking.
That's great.
No, but I've had the opportunity to take pictures of her, and I think it's your sister, too?
Yeah.
This wrestle, they do an awesome job. So congratulations to the both of
Fantastic.
you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I know I just had him up here. If we could have our command officer, Ryan Pizak, he's here to do a presentation on the SAVES program. We have flyers by the door if anybody's interested, but he'll explain it better.
First, I'd like to thank the board for having me today. I do appreciate the airtime to talk about a really unique opportunity that the Sheriff's Office had to partner with the SAVES project. It originated from an officer in the Rochester Police Department who has a child with special needs. She saw a need for something like this to help law enforcement identify vulnerable adults and children in the community that might get separated from their parents or their guardians. So she came up with this program. It's called the SAVES Project, and I'll just read a little bit about it real quick. It stands for Special Needs, Autism, Vulnerable Person, Elderly Safety. The SAVES Project was founded on the belief that everyone deserves to feel safe during moments of crisis or confusion. Washington Township residents that have a vulnerable family member can now register that family member by completing a personal emergency profile form and returning it to the Macomb County Sheriff's Office. The vulnerable individual's information will be entered into the SAVES Project database, and their address will be flagged in our 911 system. The family will receive a package containing informational handouts on autism and wandering prevention tips, understanding dementia, Asperger's syndrome and high-functioning autism, and a home safety checklist. The SAVES project provides a vehicle window sticker to help law enforcement officers awareness and a QR code, or several QR codes, that can be attached to cell phones, backpacks, and other items that children with autism or vulnerable adults may carry with them. What it allows us to do is if we encounter somebody in the public that is nonverbal or doesn't know where they live or who they're supposed to be with, we can scan a QR code that'll be on a piece of their property, and it will link them back to this database where we'll be able to see their name, their phone number, their parent guardian information, and so on. In 2025, the Macomb County Sheriff's Office received 192 missing person complaints, and we had 126 runaway juvenile incidents. Now, of course, all those people wouldn't be vulnerable adults, but if just one of them had a QR code that helped us identify who they were, where they lived, and who to contact, it would be well worth it. So the Macomb County Sheriff's Office, we invested in this program, became a partner, and now we have the ability to register residents in all the townships and cities that we serve. So thank you again for having me. Just want to give a brief overview. Like Supervisor said, there are these handouts over there at the front if you'd like to register somebody that you know. And then you could also email sheriff@washingtontownshipmichigan.org or savesproject@macombcountymi.gov for more information. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You can find this information on our website and, of course, on the Macomb County Sheriff's website. We were the first municipality in Macomb County to embrace this program, and now it's starting in other communities here in Macomb County. So it's a great program, so please share the word. Next, I'd like to call up the interim past / new superintendent of Romeo Community Schools, Dr. Todd Robinson, and Mr. McDonald.
So, good evening, everyone. Good evening, board. Just want to take a minute tonight. I am here tonight as the immediate past superintendent of Romeo Community Schools. And so I do want to thank Sam and the board. See some familiar faces. You know, you've been serving the community for my entire 8 years, leading the district and being part of what I've told Mr. McDonald is the greatest job in the world. He's now at officially day 6, so things are starting to come his way and not mine. That probably has something to do with the smile that you see on my face. But truly, I'm grateful just to the entire community and a variety of levels of things that we've been able to get full community support on. Specifically grateful to the township for supporting our school resource officers. Thank you for the most recent approval of our second officer. We're excited to get the year rolling with Deputy Hill. But maybe most importantly, I want the opportunity to introduce you to your new superintendent, Joe McDonald. I think he's got a thing or two he'd like to say. So Joe, take it away.
Good evening, and thank you for giving me this opportunity just to introduce myself, and thanks, Todd, for the kind words. But I just would like to take a moment to introduce myself, Joe McDonald, the new superintendent of Romeo Community Schools, and just be able to put a face with the name. And as Todd said, I'm in day 6, and each day, each interaction, each time I meet more people from the community, I just feel more honored to be a part and be able to serve along with you in our for this community. So again, thank you, and I look forward to continuing the work and the partnership with the township in the school district. So thank you so much for this time. I do have a few cards. Maybe I could pass them out. And please don't hesitate if there's anything that we can do for you. Be looking forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, Todd, if you could come back a minute. I wanted to give you a little parting gift. So I wanted to present you this, a little piece of Washington Township to bring with you.
There you go.
That's so nice.
Awesome. Thank
Maybe
you.
we'll take a picture.
Yep.
You can rename your street.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
super
you.
nice.
Thank you for all your.
Great, good job. Good job. That's nice.
Okay, the next one gets no awards. I'd like to introduce, I'd like to introduce our new finance director, Deanne Irby. I just wanted to introduce her to the board and everyone and welcome her. She's on day 3, I think, or 2.5. So Deanne has a very strong wealth of knowledge. I've emailed the board with all of her credentials, and so welcome aboard. So you'll get your plaque in a few years.
30 years.
30 years.
Street sign.
Okay, back to the agenda. Next, the board is being asked to approve the consent agenda. You're being asked to approve the accounts payable of August 14, 2026. Approve the minutes of the Board of Trustee meeting of July 22nd, 2026. Approve the closed session meeting minutes of the Board of Trustees of July 22nd, 2026. Accept the Building Department monthly report of July 2026. Accept the Fire Department monthly report of July 2026. Accept the Robinson Capital monthly report of July 2026. Accept the Planning Commission meeting minutes of March 12, 2026. And accept the Zoning Board of Appeal minutes of July 6, 2026.
Second?
Okay, that's a motion by Praviti, seconded by Audrey.
I got a question on the form that we're signing for our signatures. Does that say July 23rd? On the minutes, on the signature for approval?
Right, because that was the date of the closed session.
Well, this says 22nd.
Let me see it. It says July 22nd.
Okay,
Oh, you know what you're looking at? It says the destroy date.
got it, okay.
Is 1 year and 1 day later. So that's what you saw. Good catch. Yep.
Good job, guys.
Okay, motion by Praviti, supported by Brown. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. We have no moved agenda items. Next is comments from the audience on agenda items only. If there's anything on the agenda you would like to address the board, please come to the podium, state your name and address. You'll have 3 minutes to speak.
Good evening. Carlos Pisano, 58172 Dulwich. Just like I did last time, there was an appointment for Planning Commission. I want to ask if Mr. Ciponeri, Ms. Rapp, and Mr. Sacco are here. Okay, thank you. Once again, I'm surprised that someone's going to get a job without a proper interview. This is the right time and moment to ask questions about the applicants. Only one person was in charge of the interviews, and I also apply. I want to say that I'm going to read my application. This was dated July 31st. I would like to formally submit my application to be considered for future opening seats on the following areas: Planning Commission, Zoning Board of Appeals, Ethics Committee. My background is automation and mechatronics engineer with electrical mechanical engineering. I'm currently a project manager in electronics, so I have extensive knowledge on customer relationships, customer service, quoting, planning, negotiations. My extensive knowledge on engineering gives me the tools to assess applications for future development. My project management gives me the leadership and the tools to have those critical discussions with everyone. What's funny is yesterday I was at a team meeting. And one of my colleagues, who's also my neighbor, he asked me, "So when are you going to hear anything about this?" I said, "I don't know. I mean, I'm figuring that you are going to get contacted as well." He had not. And yesterday I checked the agenda, and seems like there's a pick already for all of those positions. What's also interesting is that the Ethics Committee, All the terms of the 3 people in the committee expire August 2nd, and no one is talking about this. This is long overdue, and there's no appointment or no discussion about that. So once again, this is your chance to ask questions to the applicants who, I guess, are not here. Even though they had maybe extensive experience, that doesn't mean that they maybe have what it takes to take the job. So just want to bring that up, and I hope you consider that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else on the? Anyone else, any comments on the agenda? Going once, going twice? Are you guys here for Whispering House? Well, we'll discuss that when it's open. We'll explain it. We're gonna be postponing it actually, so we'll talk about it in a minute. Hearing no other open comments on the agenda, I'll close. Next is legal counsel. Okay. Next is public hearing 10.1 on Campground Road, the Natural Beauty Road, the ditching project. So,
Supervisor Privity, could we maybe move the item up so that these people can go home?
okay.
I don't care either way.
Is it, I mean, we're going to be here. Maybe they can.
Yeah. We'll hold off on the public hearing for a minute. We'll move to number 11, unfinished business. Resolution 2026-20, Whispering House Paving SAD Resolution 2A. If Bob, can you explain it? That we're going to postpone.
There was a public hearing that was originally scheduled for tonight on what's called the necessity hearing, which that's the opportunity for owners that are in the special assessment district to come forward and voice your opinion either in favor or in opposition to the creation of the special assessment district and the improvements themselves. And at the conclusion of that public hearing, the board would make a motion to either agree to go forward with it or not to go forward with it. The statute under which this process is being pursued requires 2 different kinds of notice. One is publication in the newspaper, which has to happen twice before the public hearing, and there also has to be a mailing. The public hearing notice was published twice in the newspaper. There was a hiccup on the mailing, and as a result, there was a technical defect in the notice. As a result, if we proceeded tonight with the public hearing without the mailing, the SAD would be subject to challenge, and it would be defective. So instead of pursuing the public hearing, the board will adopt Resolution 2A, which will set the public hearing for your September meeting, your second meeting in September. Again, it's unfortunate, but the statute requires it, and it's not, substantial compliance, it's strict compliance.
Okay, so, do you want to make the motion?
So I make a motion
Yeah.
to postpone? Are we going to say?
Well, no, there's a motion to adopt Resolution 2A that's in your packet,
Resolution 2A.
Okay.
and set the public hearing for the September, I think it's what, 16th? 16th
September
hearing date.
16th.
So it will be renoticed in the newspaper twice, and it will be mailed to all the residents.
Right.
I've talked to Mike Kozak about that. Mike, can you address that?
We're still good. The deadline for the submission to the county is September 25th, Friday. So all we'll need, assuming it is approved by the board on the 16th, is the formal resolution from the clerk certified, and that'll get attached to the application, and we'll have it in well before the 25th. And there's no, doesn't help you to get it in any earlier than the 25th, right? So we're not late to the game. We'll be in by the 25th.
I just wanted to make sure you didn't miss that.
Yep.
No.
It wouldn't matter if everybody came here not knowing that you had postponed it.
Yeah,
Most of us probably have different dates and things we're doing.
no, yeah.
Let me ask you this question. We couldn't hear what you were saying. Would it be helpful for us? I'm sure there's a few people that would like to voice their thoughts.
Yes, that'll happen at the September 16th meeting. So we have to mail a letter and publish it twice, so the letter didn't get mailed out in time, so that's why we have to postpone it.
Yeah, this is Mike on? This is more than a technicality. if you had one landowner in the district that opposed the special assessment, you could have everybody here. But if you failed to comply with the notice requirements under the act, that one homeowner could challenge the district in its entirety, and it would be stricken. And there's plenty of case law on that. It is strict compliance. And again, there was a notice that was sent in the newspaper that complied with the statute. The mailing did not comply. And as a result, you jeopardized the entire project. And you'd be in a world of hurt if this went to the county and they approved it and you had one person object to it and they struck down the district. So you're only moving this back a couple of weeks. You're still going to get it in on time. You're still going to have the public hearing and the notice requirement will be satisfied. This is a way better way to do it, and it's required.
So we will, to be clear, the points that people would voice, you can't voice them until they
We'll come in at the.
I was just wondering if the notice of the mail had anything to do with the points that people wanted to hear.
No, that when we come back on September 16th, at that point there will be a public hearing, and everyone that's in the district will have an opportunity at the public hearing to have their say to the board and speak about whether the improvement should go forward, should not go forward, the term of years of the district, the estimate of cost. All of that will be the subject matter of the public hearing on the 16th. So there's no prejudice to anyone other than the inconvenience of being here tonight and finding out that it's going to be kicked to September 16th.
That's why we moved it right now, to spare you from having to sit here for however long it took us to get to that agenda item. Wanted to make sure we valued your time as much as possible.
We just moved the vacation to September, so we won't be here.
You can always write your correspondence,
Yeah, you
and
can
we will
submit
read it.
Yeah, you can submit it by mail
Absolutely.
or email, sorry, not just mail.
Yeah, we can read your correspondence, of course. Should I go ahead and make the motion?
Yeah, you can put, yeah.
So I'm going to make a motion that we move item resolution 2026-20, Whispering Hills Paving, SD Resolution Number 2A, to our September meeting.
We're going to adopt Resolution 2A.
Yep.
Setting the public hearing for September 16th.
Support?
Okay, so that's a motion by Mylum, supported by Chaplin. Any questions? Otherwise, roll call.
Mylum,
Yes, support.
Chaplin,
Yes.
Nicely,
Yes.
Brown, yes. Praviti,
Yes.
Reinhold,
Yes.
Stevenson.
Yes. Okay, motion passed.
Thank you
Sorry,
for
so
coming.
We'll see you September 16th, sorry. I'll give you guys a minute to. Yeah. Yeah, no. We haven't done this in a few years. That's why. Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah. The deadline either way would have been September 25th, whether it was tonight or September 16th, just so.
There's no downside.
The deadline doesn't
I know.
change, yeah.
Just that they can't.
It
No,
preserves,
it's an inconvenience for sure.
but it preserves process.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, I will move back to item 10, the public hearing. I'd like to call the public hearing opening for Campground Road, Natural Beauty Road ditching project. Do I have support?
Support.
Supported by Brown. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have the public hearing open on the Natural Beauty Road. Is anyone here to represent the ditching project at Campground Road? Thank you. If you can come to the podium.
Hi. My name's Irvin White. I'm the planning director at Macomb County Department of Roads, and I'm here to represent the project. Next slide. Right there, so where that blue circle square is right there, and then the property below it, that's where the ditching project is taking place. The developer is going to put in a house. So Natural Beauty Roads, there's some roads in Macomb County that have natural beauty to it. It's something unique. And then when there's a development on there, the township can choose to have a public hearing. And so right there, that's where the two properties are. Next slide. And so this is where, because it's affecting the right-of-way, that's what triggers it. following the state law for this, to have that public hearing, and it's just that circle right there. They're putting in a ditch, maybe removing some trees. And then the county is not very concerned, but we have to do the public hearing. Next slide. That's the second portion, and that's where it's affecting the right-of-way, maybe a few trees, but once again, not concerned about the natural character of beauty of the road. Next slide. And that's it. So it's more comments from the public if there are.
Is there anyone here from the public that would like to make a comment about the Campground Road project, the ditching project? You can please come to the podium.
Yep.
This, here, right here, Campground. This is, I guess, north of the easement.
Is that campground and 30 Mile Road?
All right. The whole, all the campground, all the way down?
No.
It's just those two parcels.
So these are two parcels north of 30 Mile and Campground.
Yeah, I live between 30 and 31. I have no idea what that means. On a circle there. That's my house now, because I'm not building anything right now. That's why I asked if it was by the, by the electric lot, the power lines, or if it's,
Roughly a quarter mile up from there.
What's your address, sir?
65166. Those don't look familiar.
Yeah, so you are. Do you mind if I show him? Please.
Appreciate it.
So it's the properties that are right across here, so you're down here, so it's gonna be,
It doesn't come down.
it's just right here. Just right in front of those two.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Sir, what is your name?
Jerry Reader, J-E-E-R.
Thank you.
Anyone else would like to comment on this two parcels on Campground Road? Going once, going twice. I'll make a motion to close public hearing.
Support.
Supported by Mylum. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. So the next thing is just to approve the ditching. No.
They have to,
Well, we can approve it, but
we
we
have to,
can't stop. You know, if I could just add something in, because I live on the other Natural Beauty Road on Mount Vernon. So I looked into this, obviously when they were doing some water main work to find out what you can and can't do. And even with the Natural Beauty Road designation, the township and the county has every right to go in and do road improvements and the improvements that are necessary by law in order to do these type of developments. So they're going to come along, they're going to ditch, they're going to take care of the drainage for these two parcels. It's not a huge, alteration of the road itself. And, it shouldn't disrupt the overall aesthetic of the Natural Beauty Road. Similar to, it will be much less of an impact than when they put the water main down Mount Vernon. So, but it's a necessary thing to do when you develop a parcel, and by law, there's nothing that we really don't have any say over it. It is done by the county, and by law, they are allowed to do these type of improvements even in natural beauty roads.
Speak into the microphone.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so I don't know if we need a motion or acceptance, but I would make a motion that we approve the county's ditching project for Campground Road.
Support. I'd like to piggyback on that first real quick. This is no different than the developers coming in trying to do the rezoning because they already knew what the rezoning was before they bought the property to try to meet their requirements for profit. I'm not sure, I don't know the homeowners or not. However, the homeowners probably should have realized that this was a natural beauty ground area, and not to be disturbed. Besides that, we don't have any control over it, but that's my opinion, is they should have known before they bought the property and tried to develop it.
My only concern was that when they came through and did the ditches last time,
Right.
cleared them all the way down, and I know we had the flooding problem by my house. I just wanted to make sure I knew ahead of time, because I got stones on a flower bed and stuff. I move all the stones out of the way when they come to dig, but I didn't want to bother unless they were good by me, so it doesn't sound like they're coming back, right? That's what
As far as I know, they're just
Right.
affecting those two parcels.
Yeah.
Very limited.
So we didn't hear from Mr. Wyche the reason they're doing it. Is it because of a drainage or a flooding problem? I see that he left, but what is the reason?
I'll attempt to answer that question. I won't speak for the county, but there's no existing drainage in front of many of these parcels, right? If they're undeveloped, there was nothing there, so there may be something to the north or to the south. The water really doesn't have anywhere to go. This is intended to handle that roadside drainage as well as the front of the parcel, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So clearly, we're supposed to vote on something that we have zero ability to control.
Yeah, he's coming back. Why did,
Maybe he had to go to the restroom? No, he left the second. That's what I'm saying, I'm being
I don't
facetious
understand
here.
that.
Mr. Siebert, do we have to vote on this?
There he is.
I don't know anything about the county process.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
There you go. Somebody go get him.
I'm sorry, this is new for us, so we do have a couple of questions.
So, Mr. Wyche, we were just asking the exact reason why they need the ditching. Is it for a drainage or a flooding issue? What is the exact reason?
Macomb County Department of Roads is requiring it. I can put you in contact for Robert Bush, but they went out there, maintenance went out there, and permits, Robert Bush went out there.
Okay.
So Leo, so they took a look at this, and they said the best thing that is needed, because there's drainage on the southern properties, okay? So there's something that exists there. So because of that, we want it to tie into it. So Department of Roads is requiring that ditch drainage to tie into it.
Oh, okay.
And that's why Department of Roads, and because it's within the right-of-way, there's a natural beauty law that's on our website. It triggers, you guys have the option for a public hearing, and you said you wanted the public hearing.
yes.
So that's why
Okay.
I'm here to help.
So do you need any
Thank you.
action by us as a board?
No.
Or, okay,
All it is comments from the public.
okay.
And then I take those comments and we consider them in our decision to approve or not approve the development.
Is it possible that there could be flooding to the people to the south of that once that's opened up?
There is, I believe there's a connection there already, is my understanding.
Okay.
So we're tying into that existing connection. We thought, they went out there and was like, oh, there's nothing out there. But they looked at it and they saw something, existing pipe out there. So that's why the ditching was required to connect into that existing system, is my understanding.
I have one more question. Did you notify the property owners that are abutted to this area?
We did I relied on you guys for the public hearing. It was put in the newspaper
It was.
according to the,
It was. Yes, it was.
that's what's required by the state law.
Thank you, Clerk Brown, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Then that there's no action required from us, I'll withdraw the motion.
Okay. Okay. No other questions?
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good enough?
Okay, next is item 12.1, appointment of zoning board of appeals member. I'm requesting to reappoint Robert T. Sacco to the zoning board of appeals for a 3-year term beginning September 3rd, 2026. I'm recommending appointment of Bob Sacco to serve as the member of the Washington Township Zoning Board of Appeals. Bob has been a resident of Washington Township for more than 50 years, has a long and distinguished history of service to our community. He's previously served on the Zoning Board of Appeals for more than several years and on the Planning Commission for more than 16. A few months ago, Bob resigned from the Planning Commission because he could no longer commit to Thursday evening schedules required for the Planning Commission meeting. As the Planning Commission liaison to the Zoning Board of Appeals, his resignation forced him to consequently relinquish the Zoning Board of Appeals as well. Bob has expressed desire to return to the Zoning Board of Appeals, and I believe this extensive experience and knowledge will be a tremendous asset to the board. Bob is an attorney by trade and brings a wealth of knowledge regarding zoning, ordinances, land use matters, and municipal government. Throughout his service, he has been a strong advocate for Washington. He has attended all master plan meetings, all special workshops, and has a perfect attendance record. And I wrote more, but anyway, it's my strong recommendation that the Washington Board of Trustees appoint Robert T. Sacco to the ZBA. So that's my motion.
Support.
Supported by
But
Chapman.
are we prepared to vote on this?
Yes, otherwise we
I think
won't
there were other applicants who applied for this, and we don't have any of their, of course you make the recommendation, but we don't have any of their applications. So how can we decide? How can we support your recommendation if we don't have those?
I think this also comes down to its supervisor, one of his responsibilities to do that. And you'll hear my comment when we get to the IT that we don't have very much information on the IT information either, but we're asked to make a decision today. So considering Mr. Sacco's experience, and I'm sorry he's not here today, but I think he needs to be on the board with all these developments that are coming on.
Do I have a second or no?
Support.
Supported by Stevenson.
Not
Any
getting my
questions?
support.
More questions? Oh, I'm sorry, Chapman did. I'm sorry. We're on question on the
Giving away
motion.
my second.
Okay, then roll call.
So the motion was Chaplin, is that right?
Motion was Praviti.
Pardon me.
Seconded Chapman.
Pardon me. Okay. Praviti,
Yes.
Chaplin,
Yes.
Nicely,
Yes.
Stevenson.
Yes.
Reinhold,
No.
Mylum,
No.
Brown, no.
Okay, motion passed 4-3. Next, we've had a vacancy on the second alternate zoning board of appeals. My request is to appoint Lisa Rapp as the second alternate to the zoning board of appeals. Lisa has served as, this will be a 3-year term. Lisa is a lifelong resident of Washington Township and has served in the community in numerous capacities throughout the years. She was a Washington Township trustee for 8 years and also served on the zoning board of appeals as its secretary during that time. I'm just highlighting the. Lisa has demonstrated a long-standing commitment to Washington Township and has consistently been willing to serve when called upon. Her knowledge of the township, prior ZBA experience, and years of public service make her highly qualified to serve as second alternate member. And with that, that's my motion to appoint Lisa Rapp.
I support.
Motion by Praviti, seconded by Mylum. Any questions? Otherwise, roll call.
Praviti,
Yes.
Mylum,
Yes.
Reinhold,
Yes.
Stevenson,
Yes.
Chaplin,
Yes.
Nicely,
Yes.
Brown, no.
Okay, motion passed. Next is appointment to the Planning Commission. I had sent a memo to the board earlier today. There was a misunderstanding on my part. I had thought Mr. Thomas did not want to continue. He would like to continue. I have talked to Michael Schippaneri, and hopefully we can appoint him in the future. But I'd like to reappoint Peter Thomas to continue on our Planning Commission. Pete's been very vocal, and I think during this time while we're working on the ordinance for our data warehouse, and he's very strong with our ordinances on the brick, on beauty, on all the new development that is coming in, and high standards, and we need to continue these high standards in our township to make sure developers don't take advantage of our township. So I'd like to reappoint Peter Thomas for a 3-year term. That's my motion.
Support.
Supported by Chaplin. No
Can I make a
questions?
comment
Yep.
again? I do have, we've got, and Mr. Carlos did make a comment in the public comments about nothing is being said about the Ethics Committee, but we have gotten 2 applications for people who wanted to be on the
I
Ethics.
actually got more than 2.
Yeah. Good, but I'm working with the Ethics Committee files, but anyway, so And we are, in case you didn't know, Carlos, that is being postponed until the next meeting, September 16th. And that has been posted on the front page of the website so people can apply for it. But there are two individuals who applied for Planning Commission, ZBA, and the Ethics Committee. And I got those through default because they were from the Ethics Committee files, which I have. But these people, I just feel like if we are, of course we take the supervisor's recommendation and that's great, but if we don't see all of the applicants, how do we know what we're voting on? That's my comment. There's other people, the people who we are approving, I'm sure they're fine, but there are other people in this community who would like to serve, and we don't have all the information in front of us.
I agree with you on that. And we need a new board. We need new blood on the commission. We can't keep heating the same old people on. I personally experienced the ZBA and this planning commission, and these members that are being asked to be put back on these boards and commission are terrible. I wish there were more applicants.
Well, there are, but we haven't seen them, from what I've heard. There are other applicants, and we don't have their applications.
So we have a motion and a second, so roll call.
1 second. Sorry. I'm sorry, who was the second?
I were.
Okay.
Chaplin.
Okay, got it. Praviti?
Yes.
Chaplin?
Yes.
Milam?
No.
Reinhold?
No.
Stevenson?
No.
Nicely?
Yes.
Brown? No.
Okay, so motion fails, 3-4. Do I wait till the next meeting to make another appointment?
No, the statute does not require that you have any particular process in place. The board can set that process up. In other words, you can have an interview process, you can put it on the website, however you'd like to advertise it. It's not legally required, so the board sets that policy. But under the Act, the Township Supervisor appoints with approval of the board for a planning commission member. So it has to start with the supervisor, and the supervisor will make that recommendation until he gets approval. So I've been involved in cases where it's gone on for months, where the supervisor makes recommendation, fails. If you have somebody you want to nominate tonight, you can, but, you know,
Well, my next would be this backup Michael Schippaneri. I'll make a motion to appoint Michael Schippaneri to serve a 3-year term as Planning Commission member.
Support.
Supported by Dennis Stevenson. Roll call.
Praviti?
Yes.
Stevenson?
Yes.
Reinhold?
Yes.
Milam?
Yes.
Chaplin?
Yes.
Nicely?
Yes, because we got to get it filled.
No. Brown? No.
Okay, thank you. Motion passed. Next is item 12.4, the award of the IT bid.
I think it was the insurance.
Did it get changed?
Insurance. We have insurance.
A board packet's got it differently, sorry.
That's okay.
And we do have, well, John, would you like to lead?
I didn't even know our insurance was up, that's why.
Oh, pardon me, the insurance, excuse me.
I thought it was the IT bid on all 3 agendas. It's next is IT bid. I don't see the insurance on those.
I've got the insurance.
I have insurance. 12.
Okay, then it must have changed.
12.4.
Insurance.
12.4.
It was, the last 2 were bad. Okay, we're on insurance or no?
Okay.
That I wasn't aware of.
And we have John Johnson here to speak about the renewal.
Good evening. Hi, I'm John Johnson. I'm with Nickel and Staff Insurance Agency, and we are your property and liability insurance provider. The product that we are providing to you today is with an insurance company named Trident. They use 3 underwriters in this: Arch, which takes care of your property; Ascot, which takes care of your liabilities; and Hartford Steam Boilers, which takes care of your boiler. Under this policy, you have a variety of coverages, looming from general liability, public officials liability, you have your law enforcement liability, auto liability, excess coverage as well. And I would like to start with the general liability on this. General liability is third-party damages to others, bodily injury, or property. So that would be a slip and fall claim, or that would be damage to other people's property, like a vehicle if some shingles came off of your roof and damaged their car. In that sense, you carry a $1 million underlying limit, and we purchase $10 million of excess coverage on this. Each dedicated liability line that you have is a separate checkbook. So not one of these coverages will go into the other. So general liability is separate from your public officials. Also, your defense expenses, so to have the attorney defend you, does not erode or take away from the $11 million checkbook that you have on these liabilities as well. A critical component of your general liability is also sewer backup. You've got boosters, you have lift stations, and a variety of other things to help with the transmission of those. And if something were to occur and back up into a resident's property or business owner's property, we have the coverage for that. Under Act 222, there is great governmental immunity towards that defense, but we have seen attorneys puncture that or get through the barrier of Act 222. So it's a critical component of the product that we offer here, and it's at the full $11 million limit. Next on your policy term would be the public officials. So this is the wrongful acts that you did something or you did not do something, also carrying the $11 million checkbook for you. A critical component of this is inverse condemnation. We have actually increased your limits from the standard that I traditionally provide of $100,000. You guys carry $1 million on that. And again, I want to announce that the defense expenses are outside of that $1 million. So you can have your attorney defend you all day long, and until you're found liable for something, then we cut the check up to $1 million for those defenses, okay? Okay. You also have employment practice liability. That's as simple as it sounds realistically. It's just fair hiring practices and things of that nature, discrimination, harassment, and all of those types. You do have non-monetary defense on this. So if somebody comes in here and they want to file a claim against you, but they aren't seeking any damages, they aren't seeking money, you have up to $50,000 on that as a defense, which traditionally you will not have any coverage if somebody does not seek monetary damages. So this is a supplemental thing that we add on here to increase your coverage value that is provided through Nickel and Saf. You have your traditional auto liability, so it's the same thing as general liability, but you're in a vehicle, so you hit somebody when you're driving, or you hit another vehicle when you're driving as well. We do have the comprehensive and collision coverage of $5,800,000 worth of assets in that category. The reason that I was brought in today is a couple things, but we did provide you two options that you can choose from. The first option had a property deductible of $2,500. The second option has a property deductible of $10,000. You do have an open property claim right now that is only $7,000. So that would kind of eliminate something in your loss ratio or your claims made history. So this is something that we can choose to take a hold of and see some premium bearing savings on that as well. Your property limit is $52,746,603. We traditionally do a 4% inflationary protection on that, as cost of good, labor, wages, all of that is going up every year, so we protect you there. I know we have done appraisals in the past, so this values that you have on your assets are all contemporary and up to date. We do appraisals every 10 years through our company, free of charge to the township, and that's a benefit for you to make sure that these values are correct, because you are on what's called blanket replacement cost. So if this building right here is worth $10 million and we have a total fire and it burns down to the ground and it's actually $14 million to replace, you'll be able to draw from that $52 million the extra cash, the difference between the two, and rebuild this to the standard that it was. Moving forward, you have your equipment breakdown, which has a $2,500 deductible. We can boost that up to $10,000, and we'll see the premium savings between the property and the equipment breakdown. So that's the variable change here between the product this year. We've got a variety of things of inland marine. Inland marine are items that move from one place to another place. Traditionally, what you'll see is computers. Your laptops are a fantastic example of this, but most of it comes in from your police, your fire, and your DPW guys. Those are going to be the guns. Those are going to be the turnout gears, all of the action-ready items that they have to go with. Moving forward,
On that one there, sir, they are contracted through Macomb County. Why do we need a policy for that?
So I misspoke on that. I'm sorry. The only piece that we have right here is the emergency fire. There is no police. I apologize on that. Moving forward to a crime feature, you have a variety of different limits on this. Traditionally, we keep it at $100,000, but we've boosted up employee theft to $500,000. We've boosted the computer fraud and funds transfer up to $500,000, and we've got money orders and money counterfeiting at $100,000. And then, as I stated before, we do carry the excess liability at $10 million, which goes into the general liability, the employee, the public officials, employment practices, and auto liability as well. So there are two options for you today, and one of them comes in at $411,510, and that is with your deductibles at $2,500 for the property and your equipment breakdown coverage. The other one is $399,979, and that boosts your property and your equipment breakdown deductible to $10,000 on those.
What is your policy on replacing roofs?
It depends on what occurred to the roof, but you have replacement cost coverage on that. So if it's deemed fixable, we'll fix it, but if it's a total loss, we will replace the whole roof.
And not partial of it? Okay. What's our current loss ratio right now?
Great question. If we look at a 10-year running loss ratio, you're at about a 39.54%, but that does not include, you have 3 current open claims. One is a property claim, which I spoke about a little while ago. And then you have 2 open liability claims. Those open liability claims come in at about a total of $200,000. So this past fiscal year, we were at $59,000 with settled claims, but we're at $200,000 with open claims right now. So that's about a $260,000 loss point to a premium that you guys paid of $353,000. So you're at about if I'm just doing it off the top of my head, a 65%, 70% ratio this past year. And the year before that, we struggled greatly here due to a couple different factors. You guys were at about 190% loss ratio. Your premium was $317,000, and your claims totaled at $614,000, but we do not have any claims open from back then. So all of those are settled.
Just because I was new here, can you tell me what that was back?
Yeah, if you give me a couple moments to dig through all of these documents here, I can search to figure out what the claims were, yes.
Is our contract up? When is it ending? I can't hear you.
It's ending very soon.
Very soon?
When is the exact date?
I don't know, because this wasn't brought up to us. That's why I'm asking questions.
It's on the agenda.
Yeah, you sent it out yesterday. I'm trying to...
No, it was on the original agenda.
Well, when we had our agenda meeting, you didn't bring it up at all.
It was on the original agenda.
This This wasn't on Friday, we had it on a Monday, and then the letter from them was dated June 22nd, so that was 2 months ago.
Just a question for the rest of the board, because I'm not on every committee. Is there an insurance committee that meets to discuss policies, or?
There should be. It should be at least the executive committee at a minimum.
I mean, I'm not on, like I said, I'm not on every, so I don't know if there was an insurance committee that got to discuss any of this.
I'm saying, I don't know when the deadline is. I didn't know when this got put out to bid. I don't know anything.
So the policy expired July 1st?
Yes, and we have renewed it for you.
Okay.
So it's
already expired.
Yeah.
But we have
Well,
to,
wait.
we have to decide on which option.
You are choosing between the two options that we have in front of you.
Please. Did I hear that correctly? It's already expired?
We have renewed it for you on an
It's
automatic.
been renewed automatically.
So why I'm coming in front of the board today is because I want to present you with two options
The options.
of the property deductibles.
If your letter was dated June 22nd, and we knew this was coming up July 1st, how come there wasn't a more advance notice?
I have provided advance notice, and things got busy between items, and that's why I'm coming forth today.
Okay. And I'm assuming that the renewal was for a term of 1 year?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I did have some questions on your numbers. I was looking at the two options. You guys can mull over how we got here. Option 1 is priced at a total of $411,500, and option 2 is $399,000.
Yes, sir.
The one thing I saw that option 1 covers specifically is the terrorism coverage. There's $7,577 in that one for terrorism coverage. And option 2, I'm looking at the same disclosures, but they are all TBD. So there's no number assigned for that. Did I miss it, or is it?
The value of it is not it is included, but it's not announced to
It's
you.
not announced, so
The whole thing is all inclusive.
Because that's what I noticed. There were no specific numbers on option 2.
Yes.
Okay, so so the terrorism coverage would be included in that $399. It's just not
Correct.
specifically spelled out.
I noticed in one of the proposals, there's coverage for non-manned aircraft. Is that drones?
Yes, you have drones.
Does the township have a drone?
Yes, you have 3 of them.
We do.
Fire department.
Yeah, fire.
And is that included in both options, both contracts?
This is a separate and distinct policy that is a July 25th account, a July 25th renewal, and it's $2,000.
So is that included in both?
It is not included in that, no.
It's only included in the $411,000?
Neither.
It's not included in either, that's just an option.
Yeah, it's a dedicated policy to take care of something that we don't feel Trident does well enough, so we procure a dedicated policy on top of, outside of it to give you better coverages.
Okay, so do we have that coverage?
Yes, you do,
Okay.
and it's in place, yes.
Do you provide 60 or 90-day renewal notice?
We provide well in advance, 60 days.
Was this put out for bid?
Obviously not, if we didn't even know it was coming up for renewal.
Why wouldn't we put it out for bid?
Well, it's already renewed.
I think somewhere the ball got dropped, and we didn't get the renewal notification to the board. And that's why we're where we're at. If it's been renewed for a year, we've got a year contract now. I mean, we can talk about how to move forward, but, according to the terms of their contract, they've renewed and we've accepted. We just have to pick an option tonight. And we can have a discussion about how we're going to move forward with renewals in the future
Right.
and how we don't drop the ball, but that's a different issue we'll need to solve. And
And
I'll
we're here
take full
after the
responsibility for
contract
that.
expired?
I'm sorry?
I'll take full
And
responsibility
we're here
for
after the
that.
contract expired.
Why, though? If the-
sorry, Dennis, I didn't hear
I
you.
said we're here after the contract is already expired.
The contract had an automatic renewal clause. So my understanding is that they renewed when the previous contract expired because we didn't take any action to tell them not to. So if that's correct.
And because there were two options, that's why we had to bring it before the board in case you wanted, we could have kept it the same or go with a little bit higher options.
Well, we're
That's why it
talking
went
two
to the
different
board.
issues.
That's why it went to the board.
We really honestly have a big problem here, in my mind's eye.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, no disrespect to anybody, but we're under a new umbrella here, and you're saying, well, now we have two options. In my mind's eye, we didn't have any option that we should have been talking about other than, have we done the proper due diligence to the community by putting this out to bid? So we're done with that. We can't do anything about this now? Is that where we're at?
We've gone out to bid personally within the past 2 years, and we've searched the marketplace for you. We searched Trident, which you are with right now. We've searched Glatfelter, we've searched Travelers, we've searched Liberty Mutual. We have a wide variety of carriers in our pocketbook that we utilize on a day-to-day basis. We take care of more than 75 municipalities in this state with a variety of different backgrounds, dedicated authorities, drainage districts, and things of that nature. So yes, in the past couple of years, we have went out to bid personally for you to assure that the product that I bring before you today is the best product that we have in our book.
He is right. He's a broker. He's not a captive agent. So even if it was John Smith or Sally Joe, and they did the exact same scenarios, they're going to come back with the exact same numbers.
Yes, sir.
It's just a matter of who's representing the carrier, which happens to be Nickel and Saf.
And I'm, partially, it's takes the sting away a little bit, but I would like to see a spreadsheet or notification of the different places and how much they were, and what, and why, and how, and where.
We didn't do that this year. We went and did that a couple years back, yes.
So that, to me, means we didn't do what we were supposed to do.
It does not, because the market doesn't change like that in a year or two. I recommend every 5 years for us to go out and search, because if I were to do that, it's like, okay, let's put this in a perspective for you guys to understand on a personal level for your home and your auto. If you go out every 6 months and you continue to check on the doors of those people, first of all, they're probably, if you're using the same broker, they're going to get sick of quoting you and they're not even going to quote you. And then two, you're not going to see any premium change after you do it for 6 months, 5 times in a row for 3 years, because you're at the lowest premium possible.
We'll just agree to disagree, because I
course,
literally
yes.
annually shop my insurance. I go to Goosehead, my guy at Goosehead does a little computer thing, gives me the printout and tells me, okay, here's where you're at, stick where you're at, whatever.
Just like we do
If
at
you guys are too
Nickel and
busy to
Saf.
do that, or you don't want to hurt other people's feelings by doing it, I can understand that, but that to me is what needs to be done annually.
I have no problem in doing that for you.
So I would say at this point, I would defer to Audrey and Mike. You're the insurance experts here on this board. I thought option 2 looked like the best.
And based on the claims, because you were suggesting option
Yeah.
2 because of the claims experience that we had 6 liability claims last year and 3 of them came in under 10,000.
Yes,
So nothing was paid out to them, which is why you said
correct.
it was based on our claims experience. Is
Yeah,
that
you
what I'm
guys have an
reading?
extremely
Okay.
high claims ratio. The claims
Right.
ratio from 2024, you're at 190%. The claims ratio for this year, you're at 70 to 65%. Industry average for a acceptable account like Washington is under 40%. That's where you're extremely marketable. That's where all of these companies will go out and say, yeah, I want to quote this. I want this on my book. When we're at these ratios where we're at 170, 190, it's very hard to get any market to say, yeah, I want to touch that. They're going to shy away with a 10-foot pole traditionally. So yes, that's why we went out and did it in the past 2-3 years. But I can't go to a market and say, hey, look at this account. They're going to tell me in 5 seconds, we don't want to touch it because of the losses. So as we work together to provide risk management services, I've already talked with your new finance director, and the first thing that we spoke about was getting compliance with your contracts. So in the next couple days, I'm going to have documents over to her to assure that all of your third-party vendors that you're working with are providing you with insurance limits that are acceptable for the industry. So we're here trying to mitigate your risks on a day-to-day basis, and we're doing the best we can to lower those loss ratio numbers so we can create this account as a marketable account again and get back out to the industry and see if we can get you guys better premium prices in that nature.
You just answered the question, because what are we doing to try to lower the loss ratio now, or the frequency? Now, every time we call in, does that count towards
No,
the frequency?
No, it does not.
Okay.
We can put the account on notice. So you can call in and say, hey, this has not happened yet. We want to make you aware of it. There's an account today that I took care of. It's Mack Avenue in Oakland County is getting all rebuilt, if you're familiar with that area. And Wayne County is the one that actually takes care of it. It's the Wayne County Road Commission. So the Wayne County is liable for a slip and fall in that area. The city of Grosse Pointe Woods had somebody slip and fall in their city, but on Mack Avenue in that construction area. They notified me. I put the carrier on notice. This does not hurt their loss ratio at all. It just tells them, hey, we might be on a lawsuit. It isn't our area or anything, and they're good to go. So correct, it does not hinder your loss experience.
I would also recommend that if we do have a claim, we should probably get a bid or get a price on it before we even contact you, because if it's...
That's common practice that is occurring right now already.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, that happens 100% of the time here. We've been dealing with you guys for over 10 years. I haven't serviced you directly. I'm stepping in on behalf. I will service you in the future. We love working with you. We go to your State of the Township addresses every single year. We're sponsors for that. I love hearing the witty jokes that come from that event. But yeah, we've taken care of you, and I think it speaks volumes to how we've taken care of you over the history. Not just this time coming here with different deductibles to try to mitigate the premium that you have right now and alleviate some of that loss ratio that you are having at the moment. So that's why we're bringing up options.
Okay. Quick note, I'm looking at the board cover sheet for this item. And it says the recommendation is for option 2 at $411,000. Is that backwards?
That is backwards, yes.
Okay, that's option 1.
No, I'm sorry.
Option 1 is $411?
Option 1 is $411, option 2 is $399.97.
So we've got.
And which one's being recommended?
They're recommending the $399 option 2.
And why?
You're going to save premium, and the claims that you are having towards that area is not as much as your liability claims. So they aren't as frequent. So you have two different types of claims. You have severity claims and you have frequency claims. Frequency claims hit the checkbook a little bit harder because they come more often, and you're not having frequency or severity in the property area. You just had 2 claims in the past couple of years about property, but other than that, you guys are pretty good.
So it would be
that's
cheaper
why.
for us to pay the more deductibles than to pay the higher premium.
If we look at a 10-year running history, yes, you would have saved money on that. That's why we're recommending it for you.
Motion? I'd like to make a motion, except I don't have the dollar amount and the recommendation for option 2. So somebody could read that off for me. This was $399.
$399,979.
So I'd like to make a motion to continue with Nickel and Saft, the insurance agency, for option 2 for $399,979.
Support.
So motion by Nicely, supported by Brown. No questions. Roll call.
Nicely.
Yes.
Brown. Yes. Previti.
Yes.
Chaplin.
Yes.
Mylum.
No.
Reinhold.
Yes.
Stevenson.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, motion passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is 12.6, Great Lakes Water Authority, Amendment Number 6. This is for our water service contract. So I'm happy to report. I'll let Mike close. Okay, we just got all sorts, sorry.
Not yet.
Let Mike talk, he's already up there. We'll go back. You sure? Okay.
I'm here all night.
Okay, award of IT bid. I think this got bidded out.
Okay.
It did.
And with us this evening, we have Mr. Tom Conway, who is our regional representative for VC3. And John, would you like to talk about this, or what would you like to do?
Let me just jump in real quick. I think everybody got the report that I had sent out. And I did my best to make it as clear as possible for everyone, to include the numbers and the narratives of how we ended up where we are. It's almost 100 pages. There's a lot of backup information in there if you wanted to dig through the numbers. If anybody has any specific questions, we are recommending to stick with our incumbent vendor, VC3, for both the IT and the multi-factor authentication contract. Like I said, it's a long document. If anybody has any questions on how we got here, I'd be more than happy to answer without having to read through the first 90 pages.
And as everyone knows, the IT committee worked, this was a long, arduous process, and the IT committee is comprised of Dana Birschbeck, John Chaplin, Trustee Stevenson, Mary Guillermez, my deputy, Fire Chief Tyrell, and Heather Berger, who's in DPW, and then myself as well. We put out 3 RFPs. The first one was for the IT management services. That's to be the new IT contractor. VC3 is our current provider, and their contract is up September 26th this year, but we did put them out to bid as well, and they bid with the other people that we saw. We had 7 companies who bid on the IT management RFP. We also had we have 2 grants that we were given from cybersecurity grants, and the second one is a multi-factor authentication, which we granted along with, we gave to the IT management provider. So those are two motions that we have today. And we also received almost 30 bids for our third RFP, which is for cybersecurity, another grant that we have. We have not decided on that one yet because this one took a long time and a lot of interviews to decide on VC3. But we did invite several people to come interview. 2 withdrew, another one changed their mind and came back. VC3 did interview as well. We did, so you know, the documents have 100 pages because we did a scored bid. It was very intense, a lot of parameters we had to look at and sift through things, and John Chaplin helped us a lot with that. But we spent a lot of time, and we feel pretty good about our decision.
Yeah, ultimately, there were 7 people that bid on the IT contract, and after the first evaluation, we had picked the top 2 for interviews. Right. Now, it was a number 1 and number 3 bidder, in that the number 2 bidder was about 12 times the price of everybody else, so they were excluded on that qualification. We ended up inviting 3 companies total to interview. One of them declined, so we ended up interviewing 2. Out of those 2, we ended up choosing VC3 because they were the stronger bidder. We evaluated their initial RFP submissions based on the information they provided to the township against our RFP. After that process, when we had narrowed it down to the ones we wanted to interview, we sent a questionnaire back to them to explain some of the deficiencies that we'd found in the initial responses to the RFPs. Then based on those answers and the interviews, we updated their scores to reflect whatever increase there might have been in their aggregate score against the new information that we had, and that's all in the packet there. Ultimately, we made the decision that on both the IT contract and the multi-factor, that VC3 had the better proposal, the better fit for our township based on the RFP responses and just the opinion of all the members of the committee.
What was the third RFP, and why isn't that included today?
Cybersecurity was the third RFP. That's not included today because it's an assessment that's a standalone piece. We had a limited amount of time to get this to you. As you know, this came in very late. Normally we get it out earlier, but because of the scheduling for the interviews and that, we didn't have a lot of lead time, so we felt it would be better to push the RFP for the cybersecurity piece off for at least another month to give us a fair shot to evaluate those vendors and then find out who is going to be the ones we're going to want to interview for that. Had we tried to include it in here, we just wouldn't have had time to get it done.
And also, it's advisable for the cybersecurity grant the third RFP to award it. It doesn't have to, we don't want to really necessarily award it to VC3 because we want another set of eyes looking at what's being done. No matter who we had chosen for the number 1 and number 2 RFPs, we still wanted a different company to come in and be another set of eyes checking out our cybersecurity. So that's why there's a lot of vendors there that we haven't considered yet. That's our next project.
And in general, we probably would have included the multi-factor authentication piece in the IT bid. However, because the funding is coming from a grant, it specifically had to be carved out as a separate RFP in order to meet the requirements for the grant proposal. So that's why those two were distinct and separate.
So maybe we should have Tom address us. Hi, Tom.
You guys have done great.
I know.
I don't know if I can follow all the numbers from the insurance. I'm not a numbers guy, but I do have to tell you, in the 20 years that I've been in IT, in this position, I don't think I've ever seen a more thorough evaluation and a fair evaluation of all the vendors. The 100-page breakdown, I got about 40 pages through it before I had to leave to come here. But it's very eye-opening. It really is. It provides a lot of information that even we can use to get better in the future. And we thoroughly enjoyed the interview process. I thought that went really well. And we've served the township now for quite a few years, and we look forward to continuing that relationship and continuing to grow and get better together. So,
Since you made this your livelihood, do you want to make the motion? I would hate to steal it from you.
Before you do.
We can have more discussion.
Plant Moran was asked to take a look at our procedures.
correct.
Has the IT committee considered, before we make the approval, to have Plant Moran as a second or third set of eyes to review this just to make sure everything is correct?
We did look at that path, and if I remember the numbers correctly, it was a substantial cost for them to do a review. Do you remember what it was something like $26,000.
It was, right, we did use them. They looked at our, being too loud, they did look at our RFP, and they gave us pointers on that. We paid them for that. That was a couple thousand. But to have them evaluate all of the RFPs that were returned to us, it was over $20,000. So we thought, so we chose not to do that.
And we did provide information to the auditors as well.
Yes, you did. Yes, he did.
Regarding IT and some questions that they had.
I'm not talking about all of them. I'm saying if VC3 is the one, have another set of eyes, just take a look at it to make sure we're doing everything correctly. Not saying that we're not, but this is a serious thing that we're dealing with in these day and ages, to make sure everything is correct.
It's a fair comment, and we did bring them in at the beginning of the process to look over our RFP. Once we had finalized that, we did send that off to Plant Moran for comment and some changes that they wanted to put into it to make sure that the RFP met the requirements of the township.
Did you take a look, sir, at the 7-point cybersecurity information that was put together by Plant Moran?
I think I'm at a loss. What was provided by Plant Moran?
Well, I don't know if what was, let me pull it up here real quick. This is more around cyber security. It was a cybersecurity assessment, which included the overall IT security, governance, technology, and a few other items on here. I don't know if.
I think that would have been applicable to the third RFP.
That's the third
with
RFP.
the cybersecurity assessment.
Right, and incidentally, the third RFP, which has not been evaluated yet, Plant Moran, their IT branch, also put a bid in for that. So they're bidding on the third RFP themselves.
My mistake, I'm sorry about that.
No.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Why we're here.
That's what I was a little
That's what it
confused,
is.
but that's
Yeah.
all right.
There's no bad questions.
One of the things I hear from the staff sitting back there is why when we're on the phone, you're sitting there doing your work, meaning if we call in for a ticket, go to your computer, do this, do that, do this, do that. In the meantime, it's taken away from their current job from what they need to do in servicing our residents. Sometimes it takes half hour, sometimes an hour, sometimes it takes a long time. But at what point,
sometimes it does.
at what point is that gonna stop?
In the RFP, I think we spelled that out pretty well. We are going to commit to sending on-site service much quicker. I believe it's an hour, and then we have to dispatch. The reason we do most things remotely like that is because we can resolve issues much quicker. It may seem like an hour, half an hour, 15 minutes, but the time that it takes to drive someone here, let's say it takes 45 minutes to drive here, an hour to work on something, and then 45 minutes back, that's a lot more time. So if we can call and do that, it's much quicker.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
But
sometimes.
there's been instances where these people are on the phone for an hour, just trying to get something resolved. And I've told my staff specifically, we are not technicians, and we're not going to be sitting there punching numbers. We want somebody out here.
If it takes over 15 minutes, they should just respectfully tell them that they have to go, and then we would dispatch someone to come out.
So would your IT or your consultant on the other end says if this takes any longer than 15 minutes, we're going to dispatch somebody out?
They won't say that because they have to escalate that. So the way our help desk works is we have two levels. Excuse me. The first call response level is the first level. They are entry-level engineers that they have about a list of 50 items that they can fix. Like, for example, a password reset, or I'm locked out of my computer, how can I get in? So those real easy things, they can fix really quickly. But they're there to also take information down and put it in the ticket, so if they can't fix it, it can be escalated to our advanced service team right away. And that is happening much, much quicker than it did 3 years ago. The average escalation time is down 35 minutes from last year. So things are getting much better, and we are using AI on the back end to help us move those tickets to where they need to go faster. So the response time and the resolution times have come way down, and you shouldn't be spending near as much time on the phone. If there is an issue that takes too long, that's when we need to dispatch someone out. And we've committed to half the time that we normally do. We normally say 2 hours. We've got that down to an hour. So we're trying to make those concessions to get someone on site much, much quicker, if need be.
What is the ratio of those basic calls versus going to advanced calls that we've been experiencing here?
The first call response, or FCR team, can generally fix about 70% of the calls that we...
No, what's ours?
With yours,
Yes.
I would have to do some digging on that one. I would assume that it's between 50 and 70%. Because most items are pretty small, and I can't print something, or I can't log in. Access is probably the number one issue that we have here at the township. But other than that, if it's a server issue or a networking issue, we've helped with phone systems at sometimes with the networking part. Those issues are a lot more complicated. So those do have to be escalated to a level 2 or even a level 3 engineer on that advanced service team.
As you know, we've gone to the BSNA cloud. We've gone to the BSNA cloud.
Yes.
Since then, it seems like the internet has slowed down dramatically because of the usage on that. Any idea of increasing or decreasing, or not decreasing, but increasing the speeds all across the board from guest Wi-Fi, so we have guests in here that are using it? Sometimes it takes them forever to get what they need to get onto.
We can run some reports and evaluate the traffic going through the firewall. I was not aware of that, so Thank you for that. So tomorrow I'll get a ticket in so that they can do that evaluation, and then we can look at different providers and speeds. And in today's age of technology, we're using the cloud more and more and more with AI, with Microsoft Office, with BSNA Cloud and other things. Laserfish has gone to the cloud. So the demand for bandwidth is increasing, but we do probably need to evaluate that real soon and see where we're at. See if the pipe bringing it in is big enough.
Would you do that over a specific time or just one shot to say, hey, 12 to 1, we're slow, but. and that's the only
I would
time?
probably pick the busiest time and run the evaluations during that time so that we have a good picture of this is how busy it is. Even one night when we have a full boardroom, we could do it. And we can look at that traffic, and yeah, the busiest time would give us the best picture of worst case scenario. So.
Any other questions? I got to talk to him for 2 hours, so I'm all out of questions.
I think you did a great job. It's
So-
one of the most documented thing we've voted on in a long time.
I think the committee did an outstanding job. I would credit
I agree.
everybody.
That was one of the best prepared decisions I've ever seen.
So,
lot of
everybody
background.
everybody
We worked
really
hard.
took a dive into it and
did.
And was serious about it. It took
Dana,
us a
too.
while just to get the basic RFP restructured so that we had something we felt we could go out to bid with. So I want to thank everybody for that.
Yeah.
That was great.
Great committee. Yeah.
Committee did a great job.
Thank you. And if there are no other questions, then I would move that the Charter Township of Washington Board of Trustees award the contract for RFP 2026-01 Information Technology Management Services to VC3 in the amount not to exceed $106,780.80 annually for a total not to exceed the amount of $320,342.40 over the initial 3-year contract term, consistent with the IT Committee's recommendation and pricing set forth in VC3's proposal, and authorize the appropriate township officers to execute the resulting agreement.
Support. Okay. Motion by Chaplin, supported by Stevenson. If no questions, roll call.
Chaplin.
Yes.
Stevenson. Reinhold.
Yes.
Mylum.
Yes.
Nicely.
Yes.
Praviti.
Yes.
Brown, yes.
Okay, motion passed.
Okay.
And I make a motion I move that the Charter Township of Washington Board of Trustees award the contract for the RFP 2026-02 Municipal Multi-Factor Authentication MFA implementation to VC3 Inc. in an amount not to exceed $295.60 annually in recurring licensing and support fees, plus a one-time implementation cost not to exceed $10,400, consistent with the IT Committee's recommendation and pricing set forth in VC3's proposal, and authorize the appropriate township officers to execute the resulting agreement contingent upon satisfactory written resolution of the items identified in the committee's clarification request to VC3.
Support.
Support? Okay.
Okay, motion by Brown, supported by Reinhold. No questions, roll call.
Brown, yes. Reinhold.
Yes.
Sorry. Stevenson.
Yes.
Mylum.
Yes.
Chaplin.
Yes.
Nicely.
Yes.
Praviti.
Yes. Motion passed.
Okay, everybody on the committee breathe.
You guys
Okay,
did
next
great work.
is
We got one
12.
more to do yet.
That one hopefully will not be nearly as long. I will not provide as many supporting charts.
I don't even know how you had time to do anything for the past month.
Okay, next is 12.6, the Great Lakes Water Authority Amendment Number 6 on our water service contract. So we got good news.
Good evening. Before you, you do have, as Supervisor indicated, Amendment Number 6 to your water service contract. This goes back all the way to 2008, when you were one of the first communities to adopt the model contract with then DWSD, who has since transitioned into the Great Lakes Water Authority. There are provisions in that original contract that require both parties to, quote-unquote, reopen the contract to look at your contract values. That is done during certain year calendar times, so every 4 or 5 years, depending upon kind of where it fell in the scheduling, or when you have a major change to your the way your system operates. So when the township constructed the water storage tower, it was outside of one of those normal reopening processes, but we made a request, because obviously we're going to operate the system totally different, and the contract was changed at that time to align your peak hour and max day values to the exact same number, which they have been ever since. What that allowed us to do is significantly lower the demand that we have on the system and lower water rates way back when that tower was constructed to help pay for that tower and stabilize your water rates. This is another one of the normal opening periods every 4 years. We sat down with Great Lakes Water Authority and reviewed data for the previous 4 years, as well as projections for the future, and did not make any changes to the max day or peak hour demands. We did change the projected total volume that would be used by the township. Those are just used for planning purposes. It has no impact on the rates that you're charged or your revenue requirement. And we updated a couple of the exhibits that are in the contract that show your meter pits as well as connections to the system, intergovernmental connections between yourself, Shelby, and Romeo, and any addresses that you serve outside of your community, which are all standard items that are in this contract for every single one of their 87 member partners. So this is before you for approval. Assuming everything is approved, we get them certification that it has been, provide everything back to them electronically sometime before October 12th, I believe is the date. And the impact of everybody doing this contract reopener won't be felt until rates that take place next July. So like I said, we're not changing demands, so there's hopefully not a large change to the rate that we would be paying. Your DPW team has been managing that storage facility perfectly. We did not have any violations. We weren't over on any of those contract numbers, and it has allowed us to continue to keep those values where they're at. Any questions?
I have a question. What year was the reservoir constructed?
We started construction on that in late 2014, and it was operational, I want to say, by about a year later. And then the change that we made to the contract, if I look at the values, would have been in 2017. So if you look at those values on page 6, we were 5.3 for a max day and 9 for a peak hour. And then you look at 2017, it went to 5.4 and 5.4. That's when the tank became fully operational.
That's great.
So it's been some time now, almost 10 years.
Good.
Mike, I did have one question. Looking at the WG 1 and 2, flow split assumptions?
Yes, so we tweaked those very slightly.
Explain that to me, because I don't really understand what that's for.
It's just based on real data when they actually look at, they have a system called WAMR, which provides quote-unquote real-time monitoring of the 2 connection points that you have to their system, so it tells you how much water you're using. We have our own internal monitoring through meters because they're faster and we trust them more. But they're using real data to just say, from the 2 connection points, how much water are you using, what's that range?
Okay.
That allows them to plan, they're both coming off the same 96-inch water main. It just allows them to plan if they ever had to upgrade the size of one of those meters or something like that if your demand got higher. So we tweaked those very slightly just based on real data over the past 4 years.
Okay. Now, and I may be using the wrong terminology, but those meters feed different water districts in the township? Is that how it's laid out, or just?
Not directly. There's kind of commingling of that water, and then we use booster stations and PRVs to kind of break it up into those districts.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So in layman's term, this is great news. We haven't raised our water rates in 7 years, and it looks like we have another year of no increase. So again, a big part was because of the water tower, which is great news.
The storage facility helps.
Yeah, so I want to thank, we have our new DPW director, Josh, we sat with GLWA, him, Mike, and myself with Rich Amramina. Rich has been keeping good track on it the past several years as well, so we've been doing a really good job, so I want to thank everyone.
Kurt Conger has now been tasked with
well.
operation of that
Yeah.
tank, and he does an amazing job and asks a lot of good questions and makes sure that we're staying within that contract.
Good job.
And it's been a very dry summer, so a very nervous, taxing summer for someone doing that job.
Unlike other communities, they have water restrictions the whole day. We just have it on those odd even days, which I know some people don't follow, but we've been able to maintain it on overall, so it's good news. We don't need to make a motion on this. This is just an update?
We do.
Yes.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Please.
So I'd like to make a motion to approve amendment number 6 of the water service contract.
Support.
Supported by Brown. Any questions? Otherwise, roll call.
Praviti.
Yes.
Brown, yes. Nicely.
Yes.
Chaplin.
Yes.
Stevenson.
Yes.
Reinhold.
Yes.
Mylum.
Yes.
Okay, motion
Thank you.
passed. Thank you. Next, we have kind of an emergency purchase. We had to do, I'll have Josh speak on this. It's an ABS Sulzer pump for Detroit Pump, the amount of $15,031.80.
Seems like everyone.
Do you want me to? I know.
About 3 weeks ago, we had a pump go down at our Rudgate lift station for the sewer. There's 2 pumps in every station. They alternate. They probably go off about every 5 minutes. So we've been operating on just one 20-year-old pump. We looked at having the pump rebuilt. It was going to cost about $16,000. Detroit Pump came back with a pump they've been using for a couple of years that was about $15,000 that can be installed in about 2 weeks.
So is it a used pump that we got then?
No, brand new pump.
I make a
It's another model just to try it out. If we're not happy with it, they'll replace it.
Yeah, they said if
We have like a warranty on it.
we usually go with a different brand of pump that's about $20,000, but they've been using this one and they've been happy with it. So they said, we'll put it in. If you don't like it within 2 years, we'll pull it out and give you your money back.
Perfect.
Are they both made in the U.S. or
They're trying to push this Detroit.
are they comparable?
Pumps are made in Switzerland, I believe.
Both of them?
Both of them.
One we used and the one they had?
Yeah.
So you're saying we have 2 years to try it. If it doesn't work, we got 100% of our money back.
That's what the salesman told us, yes.
Is it written down?
It's not written down, but we've been with him for a very long time, and we've followed him from Kennedy to Detroit Pump, and he's never done us wrong.
You think we can get it written down?
I can ask him.
Non-prorated.
Hopefully, yes.
Tough negotiator.
All right.
I'll make a motion to approve the ABS Sulzer pump for $15,031.80. The price includes installation.
Support.
Based upon the
Support by Chaplin.
letter or the non-prorated refund? Okay.
I don't think we can add that to the motion.
I know that's kind of hard for.
Bob? I'm sorry. Is that something that? What? The prorated refund after 2 years in writing? Non-prorated, I'm sorry. Couldn't that be-
You can't add that, right?
You've already bought it, right?
Yeah, it was an emergency.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah, I mean, you've already bought it, you've already spent the money, why don't you approve it?
Yeah.
Okay, motion by Praviti, supported by Chaplin. No question, roll call.
Okay. Praviti.
Yes.
Chaplin.
Yes.
Mylum.
Yes.
Nicely.
Yes.
Stevenson.
Yes.
Reinhold.
Yes.
Brown, yes.
Okay, motion passed. Next is our 2026 limestone program agreement. A few months ago, we approved the brine agreement. Normally, we do them both together. For some reason, we didn't do this one. They're going to do a mile's worth of limestone. We do this every year for the past 30 years, but if there's no objections, I'd like to make a motion to continue that for this year.
Sam, is that going to help with the situation on 31 Mile Road where they're complaining about the dust?
Well, that was the brining. They need a brine, not so much the.
So that's different.
The brine's kind of like a spray to keep the dust down.
Right.
The limestone's more the dirt roads that are weak. They could explain it better than.
Oh,
I
okay,
can,
it's more
but
for keeping.
It's more to build up and keep the. Did they address the problem when one that emailed you? Yeah. They spend the brine.
Okay.
Again, it's been a dry summer, so the roads get more dusty. And then whenever they spray the brine, it seems like it rains the next day to wash it away. But that's just Murphy's Law.
Okay, support.
Supported by Nicely. No questions, roll call.
Okay. Praviti.
Yes.
Nicely.
Yes.
Stevenson.
Yes.
Mylum.
Yes.
Chaplin.
Yes.
Reinhold.
Yes.
Brown, yes.
Okay, motion passed. Okay, next is a unique situation. We received an offer to purchase property that the township owns. It's 3.55 acres on 29 Mile Road. It's kind of in front of Hevel Elementary. It's parcel ID 24-04-203-201-016. This property was donated to the township about, 2 decades ago, roughly. Originally, this land was donated to make a fire station there, but per ISO standards, they don't recommend putting a fire station there, so we've never utilized it. A development company has approached the board to make an offer on that at $400,000. So I'm bringing it to the board if it's something we'd like to pursue or not. If we do, I'd like to recommend Bob Siebert draft up a purchase agreement. This wasn't put out to bid or anything. They're looking at building I don't know if I can say it. It's not a secret. It's on the email. They're looking at building kind of like they call it a Goddard school, like an upscale preschool kind of daycare center. They think it's a good strategic location, being in front of an elementary school and the high schools nearby and the 9th grade academy. We have all the schools there. They'd like to explore if that'd be a purchase option. I did speak with our assessor, Doug Okorowski. He says the price is fair. They offered $400,000. He's looking, the value's at around $350,000. We received it for $0. My only question is we'd have to do a deed research. I don't know if there are stipulations on this property or not. That would be, I guess, a legal thing to look into. I mean, I'll turn it to you.
I certainly don't know whether there's a deed restriction,
Yeah.
but as Sam and I had talked about, what you received is not an offer to purchase. You received a letter. It's called a letter of intent. This is not a binding document. You could under no circumstances sign this document. So the first question the board has to decide is whether or not you want to sell it. If you do want to sell it, you want to bid it out, or do you want to accept this sort of a loose offer to buy it for $400,000? If you did, my recommendation would be that I draft the purchase agreement. I mean, there are extensive due diligence periods with additional due diligence periods. Essentially, it takes it off the market for a year. I would want to draft the agreement and bring it back to you and have you look at it, obviously, before Sam would sign it, because many of the terms that are in here are vague at best. And I would be very much surprised if you're going to take a piece of property off the market for 1 year for $400,000. But that's your call to make. But I would draft the agreement, put in a reasonable due diligence period, and bring it back for board approval, as we've done in the past on many other pieces of property that we've attempted to sell. If you want to do it, I can have it for your next meeting.
100%. I love that they want to build a school there. I can think of nothing better. However, we have to put this out to bid. It will be the demise of all of our careers up here if we don't.
Oh, that's fine.
The only thing I wish we would have done, instead of saying how much was offered or intent to purchase, I really wish we would have just put the property out to bid, kept the number sealed to protect all interested parties.
Yeah, but
We're not in the business
we
of...
didn't advertise it to sell to begin with. They approached us.
Right, I understand that, but to me, a stronger position maybe would have been to just say, okay, now to the general public, we got an offer to purchase this land, now we're going to put the land out to bid. I still think at the end of the day, we put it out to bid, and hopefully they win, and they buy it, and Mr. Siebert will draft the perfect purchase agreement, but also being in the business for many, many years, no one gets to buy a piece of property and have a year of due diligence period. 60, maybe 90 days for them to do their perk test or those things, but they don't need a year.
Well, that would be our counter.
Well, obviously, but.
Well, it wouldn't even be a counter. There's no way you can take a piece of property off the market for a year.
You buy it or you don't.
With no guarantee that they're going to close on it.
Correct.
So,
but I think we put it out to bid.
Again, I don't know if the board even wants to sell this property. We've had it for 20 years. I don't know if we need to sell it either, so. I just have an obligation to bring it to the board, that we can kill it tonight, we can put it out to bid, or we can just sit on it again. It's up to you.
I would love to put it out to bid.
Yeah.
But can we, are we allowed to, if we did put it out to bid, like this would be the perfect neighbor. It's an elementary school next door, it would be another school, it would be, in my mind's eye, the perfect neighbor for a school. Now, you put it out to bid, does that mean anybody gets to bid and anybody can use it for whatever they want?
well, they can use it for whatever it's zoned for.
Right.
But because it's bidding, we don't have to accept it.
No, typically what we do on these bids is I'll draft a purchase agreement. That's the bid document. In other words, you don't want to bid out a piece of property and have 10 different bids 10 different purchase agreements, because then you're comparing
Yes.
every single different kind of term. What we have always done in the past is I'll prepare what we'll call a standard purchase agreement. I'll bring it to you. I'll put in what I think is a reasonable due diligence period, reasonable earnest money deposit. And the only thing the bidder will fill out is the amount. It'll be a cash deal, obviously. It's not going to be any finance. I mean, it's cash to us. But that will be the bid packet. So when people get a bid packet, all they do is they fill in the number. So when you get it back, if you have one bidder or you have 10 bidders, you're going to open them up. The terms of the deal will be exactly the same. They are not entitled to modify the purchase agreement, or they'll be disqualified. So you'll open them up and you'll list them from A to Z, and presumably you would take the highest bid, but that's your decision, and you're off to the races. That's what you've done in the past, and that usually is the most practical way to do it.
Can I make a motion to put the property out to bid?
I mean, before we do, like, what's a good due diligence, though, like 90 days, or? That's after the fact.
Well, look,
Well, he's got to make a purchase.
when's your next meeting? September what?
16th.
I can have a purchase agreement. I can get it circulated well in advance of that date. All I need is a legal description for the
Tweak it,
property.
I mean, okay.
I'll get that, I can get an agreement to you by Monday.
If you could, we need to make sure that there is no, when it was donated, there's no restrictions on the deed.
Well, then we're going to have to get a quick title search.
I did do the title search on it, and the title was clean. There was no cloud on the title.
Well, in a standard purchase agreement, there is a provision that deals with objections to title. So we have to convey marketable title at closing. Marketable title means that there are no encumbrances other than beneficial utility easements, which would make it unmarketable. So we immediately order a title commitment when we receive a signed purchase agreement, and the title commitment comes back. We look at it immediately. And we provide a copy of the title commitment to the buyer. The buyer's attorney has typically 30 days to file written objections to title. If we've missed something, or there's some encumbrance on the property that encumbers it, then they have the ability to submit a written objection. We can try to remedy the title if we can. If we can't, they can either close with the encumbrance, or they can walk away from the deal, and the earnest money is refunded back to them. So it's a standard process.
Sam, Mr. Supervisor Praviti, is there any reason we would not want to sell this property? Is there any reason why we want to hold on to it?
I'm saying, obviously, land isn't available. I mean, I can't say in 20 years if the future boards may want it. I don't know. But for fire department, we wouldn't need it, obviously. Police department, we wouldn't. I mean, I could see us maybe a park, but there's already 3 schools around it with parkland, so I don't know if you want to put another park next to a park. I don't know.
Well, one thing to note about this property, too, is it's an aggregate of 3.55 acres. The Pricebrook drain runs right through the middle of the property, so it is split into 2 parcels, and you've got that drain and wetlands issues that divide it into 2 smaller pieces.
That's why it was donated, because
It is.
there are some setbacks with the property, too.
It's a difficult piece to develop.
They didn't give us a,
Does the potential buyer know that?
Yes.
They know it. They think they can work around it with the parking lot and stuff.
Are they going to ask us to do the sidewalk, or?
They'll have to put a sidewalk in if they build it.
Does that go over the drain?
I'm saying, like, again, there's zoning issues with it as well, so it's not like someone can go there and build an apartment building there either. It's not.
Are you?
I'd like to see us sell it and use that money at Hawks Acres. Just put it back into.
That's what I mean. We've bought close to like 40 acres over the past couple of years. It would be nice to bring some cash back in that we've spent on green space.
To complete the project.
I think we should proceed with it.
So, whatever we get is 100% profit. I mean, per se, because we received it as a donation. But my only concern would be like if we needed it again for strategic for a fire department or police station or something. But I think we have all that covered, and ISO has determined where to put our fire department. So it's not.
And I don't think next to a school is a good idea.
Yeah, and obviously you're not going to put it there, but.
Okay. So.
I'm saying it doesn't hurt to put it out to bid. We could, like Mike said, we can always refuse if the bids come in low. We don't want to sell it. We can hold on to it.
So to reiterate, how long would we put it out to bid if we voted to do that?
Well, you'll have to decide where you want.
A month or 2.
Oh, not too long,
You know,
okay.
where you want to put it out for bid, whether you want to use
Okay.
one of the electronic sites, whether you want to, however you want to do it. But I'll prepare, the bid package is very simple. The instructions to the bidders are, here's an offer to purchase, fill in the purchase price, that's it. And so you can then market it however you choose
Okay.
to do that, whether you're going to put it in the newspaper, you're going to put it in cranes, you're going to put it in whatever bid net, whatever you're going to use, you would put it out, you determine that, period.
I mean, every year when we do our budget, I list all the properties that we own. And that's up to you guys if you think we should hold on to them or not hold on. I mean, obviously, land always goes up in value, but again, there are
I don't
hindrances
see
on
any
this
point in
property.
holding onto this parcel for another 20 years. You know.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
No, I'm saying
I
like,
know. It's not a parcel. that
again, if the
township is
parcel
able
was
to
like two
develop.
properties down from here, maybe we would want to hold it.
Right.
But, you know, it's not.
You know, it should be get put to a use. I think Michelle was right. It would be nice to have an academy there, another school in the township for an option. So,
But if we put it out to bid, that might not happen. It goes some other way.
It could be something
well,
else.
again, we get to select who wins based on price, based on other factors.
Can
Go to the, you know, what we feel is in the best interest of the township.
Can
Is a
the
condition.
bid include what their intention for buying the property would be?
No, because you could use it for any property, for any interest, for any use that's allowed under the zoning ordinance. But if you had someone that, again, if you wanted an agreement drafted with a specific use in it, you're going to narrow it down to one bidder, right? I mean, seriously.
Well, seriously, I think
I'm
that's
saying in
really what
theory,
we.
someone could bid and just build a dream home there too. You know?
I mean, if that's your intention, that you want this school to do it,
Right.
then there's no point in bidding it. Then I'll draft a purchase agreement for $400,000 with this buyer.
I think we always owe it to the residents.
But-
I'm not
But it-
suggesting you don't bid it. Usually you do bid it. It's
But
public land.
it's been appraised at like 350, so it's not like we're giving it away.
No, but I think we got to bid it out. It's the right thing to do.
We bid it out, we don't like it, and we move on.
And they may buy it and be the highest bidder and
Yeah, yeah.
everybody's happy.
Or they may change their mind and walk away. I mean, that's.
Okay.
I'm saying we're not losing anything. We don't have it for sale anyway.
Okay.
You know.
True.
And do we need a motion?
So I'll make a motion to authorize legal counsel to draft up a purchase agreement for the September 16th meeting for the
For the
board to
next
review.
meeting, September 1.
No, we only got September 16th.
Really? You only have one meeting?
Yeah. We're giving you the night off.
Beautiful, okay. I'll have it for you by the.
Just don't tell your wife.
I will have circulated it to the board well in advance of then, so you'll
Oh,
have
I'm
seen it.
joking.
And then we'll look at it on the 16th.
Sounds good.
Support. Motion by Praviti, seconded by Stevenson. Any other questions? Otherwise, roll call.
Praviti?
Yes.
Stevenson?
Yes.
Reinhold?
Yes.
Chaplin?
Yes.
Nicely?
Yes.
Mylum?
Yes.
Brown? Yes.
Okay, motion passed. Just so the public's aware, if someone does approach the township to purchase, I have to bring it to the board to present. Then it's up to the board if they want to either accept the offer or what we just did, put it out to bid, or we could just say no and keep the property. So those are basically our three options, just so everyone's aware of that. Next is comments from the audience on non-agenda items. You have 3 minutes. Please come to the podium. State your name and address. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Martha Klebert. I live at 12217 Parkside Circle, the Pretty Woods. I'm here tonight to share my experiences and those of my neighbors in dealing with Metronet, who is the subcontractor for the installation of fiber for T-Mobile. My initial introduction and explanation to the project was provided by a young woman in my yard painting lines and laying flags. We received no prior notice. Mr. Chafin advised me that neighbors were to receive notice 60 and 30 days before. No such notice arrived. I noticed a woman in my yard with paint and flags on my doorbell cam. I asked her what she was doing. She was laying, obviously, utility markers for the installation of fiber. 2 days later, I came home to find several yellow paint splotches up my driveway. A driveway and a patio and a front walk that I just paid $500 to have power washed. It is irremovable paint at this point. I got a knock on my door. A worker for Metronet asked me to come out and look at the yellow dot on the floor, on the driveway, and told me they intended to drill a 6-inch small hole there to find the gas line to go underneath my driveway to lay cable. I said, is this a choice, or are you telling me? He said, well, you're telling me that I have to do this. I said, don't you have to stay within the easement? He had no idea. But he did tell me. I said, how am I going to get this paint removed, which is now from the apron of my driveway up way into my property? And he advised me that I could go to Home Depot, buy paint remover, also rent a power washer, and go out and remove the paint. I'm 77. I had a heart attack at my home in November. God bless the Washington Township Fire Department. They saved me. As we know, I just read a statistic from the federal government. This has been the hottest July, hottest month on record in the keeping of records for 15,000 months. We've had Canadian smoke. I have a heart condition now and asthma. That was, I said, would you send your grandmother out in this condition to do it in this heat? And he shrugged and walked away. This prompted my first visit to the Township Hall, where I met, not Mr. Chafin this time, I met Heather, who advised me that John Kopachik is the general supervisor for Metronet. I called him and expressed my concern, and he assured me that he would direct his crew around my property and he'd still be able to provide a flower pot, which is a term I've now learned, for my neighbors who wish to have T-Mobile. I do not. They would have it. Being aware that every property has an easement, I asked the township to provide me with my plat. Anna Testagrossa was kind enough to provide it. She outlined in pink where my easement was. She also told me that there was no extraordinary ordinances in this township for them to egress private property, which I asked. I went home and measured. The drill spot of my driveway was 3 inches above the 10-foot. We've all been involved in sports. A loss by 1 point is a loss by 40 points. 3 inches is 3 inches. Stay off my driveway. Don't dig my driveway. He told me he had to dig 6 inches and live a 3-inch hole. I believe my driveway cement is at least 3 or 4 inches, and I bet, in my research, that the gas lines are 36 inches underground. So he's not going to be able to see the gas lines at 3 inches. And I watched the contractors through the sub. These men are standing in holes chest deep. That's slightly more than 3 inches in my book. The third call I made with my neighbor, because I do want Metronet. I have wonderful neighbors. I want them to have what they have. I want them to have what they want. We called T-Mobile together. Mr. Kopachik assured him that he would get T-Mobile and my property would remain untouched. One might think the matter was settled. I certainly did. August 7th, Metronet backed the Voyager drilling machine. I'm sure you're aware of the size of what that is. Looks like a small army tank. They backed it up to my sidewalk near my house with treads. Then they turned it and ran through the garden. Placed a metal plate on the flower bed, which was 3 feet, and started to drill 3 feet beyond the 10 feet with a machine 21 feet into my yard. I brought pictures for your review. I printed only one for the committee because I'm saving printer's ink to replace the plants.
Okay.
This prompted number 4 call.
Sorry, we have to stick to the 3-minute. Wrap it up.
Just so the audience is aware, as are you, this is the 3-inch hole and the repair job on driveways. This is my neighbor's driveway.
I don't know, Josh, can we call someone at
He's
T-Mobile?
already done it. They were supposed to be back there Monday, both the supervisor and John. No one came. This is my front yard and trying to deal with these.
So I just asked the supervisor if they have a bond with us, and he said this is a state-appointed situation.
According to the Metronet, Josh was kind enough to send me the Metronet rule. This was issued in November of 2002. The township had till December of 2003 to accept or deny this. You receive so many cents per linear foot for the laying of fiber for the purpose of public utilities here in the township. I want you to have that money. You receive the money, I receive the shaft.
I have a question, Mr. Siebert. Is this one of the things that we voted on, but you said it was going to happen no matter what we did?
If this is the
Fiber optic?
the Metro Act, one that we get periodically, we'll get a couple a year. Chris sits down with your DPW to make sure that the installation of the fiber is not going to interfere with any of your public utilities from our end. It is very formalistic, as long as we don't have any objections that it's going to interfere with our public utilities. If you denied it, the state's going to permit it.
That's what I remember
Yes,
that meeting.
yes, yep.
So what, in closing or coming full circle, we didn't have any control. They were coming in no matter if we let them or not. So I know that it probably doesn't matter to you at this moment. So what can we do to help this homeowner at this juncture?
And Attorney Siebert, didn't they also say, we approved that, didn't they say that they would restore the area, put it back to how it was? Didn't they promise
Yeah,
that?
I don't have the documents, but
That's
yes,
what
that's
it
what
said.
they're supposed to do. They're
That's
also
what it
not-
said.
They're also not.
Why aren't they doing it?
They're not supposed to do it.
Okay, this is,
They
that's supposed to be
told-
going on to private
They
property.
came by the
Supposed-
evening of August 7th and told me that they would do that.
Okay.
If I could please produce the receipts for the plants I bought in 1998, when I built my home. And foolishly, my problem entirely, I didn't keep receipts from 1998.
None of us would have, ma'am.
Right.
I realize that.
I don't remember the specifics, but I remember when we were looking at the contract, there is something in there about repairing and restoring the
Yes.
property
Yeah.
condition.
Yes, there
as
is.
they found it.
Yes.
If that is the case, can we ask them to send
We
a
are.
representative to the board to explain why
Josh has
this
been
happened?
working with them.
I've been working with John
Unfortunately-
Kopak on this issue, and I'll reach out to him again tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
I have
appreciate that.
spoken
Thank you.
and written to Josh and your team, and with all due respect, Josh has been very kind. He sent me an email. But promises now have fallen on deaf ears. I've had 6 phone calls, multiple
No.
promises, and nothing has been done. I will save my own money to fix my yard, but this is a travesty, and no one from this township has come out to look at my neighbors. On my street alone, they have cut a water line. There's a gusher coming out for the water line.
This is happening in every township right now. We're all having the same issues. It's a state thing where.
I will tell you that none of the crews you can speak to, they are non-English speakers. I am not against immigrants, but I will tell you that they do
We don't
understand
hire them.
international sign language when you tell them to get off their property.
Well, thank you for taking the time to come out, because we wouldn't know about this unless you do come out and tell us. Not that we have any authority to do anything, but hopefully,
Nobody does.
well, all we can do is become an advocate for you and try to.
I asked Josh, he's been very kind, it's compliments, but I don't know where the buck stops. I have spent, this is my 56th year in public education, I'm an administrator at the ISD. The buck stops with me. If you call me for a special needs child, it's me. There is no buck stops anywhere here, gentlemen and ladies, none.
I know, that's why I was against this. I didn't want this, but we had no choice.
Our yards are destroyed, fences are destroyed, and they're cutting gas on Winter Street as well.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Okay. Please, we'll try to stay to 3 minutes, please.
My name's Mike Quigley, resident of Washington Township. Just a question for you. For an agenda item that we have coming up on September 16th, if we have an electronic presentation, obviously it would be 3 minutes or less. Would we send that to Audrey, or is that who we
You
get?
could send it to the agenda email,
Okay,
correct? That would be fine?
Yeah, well,
okay. And basically, it's just to present some data with regard to the public improvement, the criteria determining the road to be replaced. So that's it. I'll be sending it to Audrey then.
I mean, it'd be better if you send a WBRW, they know.
Pardon me?
It'd be better to send it back there because they wouldn't know how to put it on their screen.
I would do it to both.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay,
It would
thank you.
just
And
be
they would-
easier because they're gonna.
And they would
it's gonna
CC
go to them.
agenda
That's it.
on it.
I'll just
Right.
notify you, Audrey, by email that I've done it.
But this will be
Send it to you,
public
Andy.
comment, not an agenda item.
Pardon me?
This is a public comment you want to make at the next?
That's
meeting?
it.
Yeah, okay.
That was it.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah,
It's a
you
public
don't need to
comment?
be added to the agenda. Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
No,
Okay.
thank you.
So that's a public comment to WBRW. Okay. Okay.
Good evening. I'm Holly Bishop. I'm on 33 in Powell. I am here to talk to Sam. I've been taking time trying to process your actions because it hurts me to know that there are people that care more about power and control than people's well-being, future generations, and the future of the community. I learned a little bit about you these past couple months, and with all due respect, you've proved to be a liar and a cheater, where your actions do not match your words. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I work with kids every day and help them build skills to function independently and teach them not to lie, cheat, steal, or to play nice, be kind, and have helping hands, not hurting hands. Then I rush to these meetings to listen to a person that lied straight to my face and put my life in jeopardy. I never want to be here. I feel like I just have to be here. If this sounds too extreme, then you're not keeping up on the health and safety updates around hyperscale data centers. There has been no apology, no acknowledgement of what's been done, and continued questionable behavior. It's business as usual, and it pains me. Tonight I hear things are postponed when the whole room was full to discuss a topic. There are hiccups in mailings, all applicants weren't shared with the board, and there were misunderstandings. Coffee with you is canceled, calls are screened, and then they go to just your voicemail, and when I call the office, anything data center related is directed to the supervisor, which again goes right to the voicemail. We've learned how many Facebook groups you're the admin or co-admin for. We're a team and a community. We're supposed to work together. As said before, it's Washington's master plan. People ask, why would they do this? Why would they go behind all of our backs? All I can compare it to is like Dr. Evil. We stand here educating you on how horrible and harmful hyperscale data centers are, and you are okay with it, okay with hurting a community for what, $1 billion control and power? Since you're a very, very tough man to get a hold of, this is where I had to come to hopefully get an answer. Can you please explain why dirt was moved from the proposed data center warehouse site a handful of weeks back? I couldn't get an answer about permits when I called the township. So when I just looked it up, 13660 32 Mile Road, it says PUD, 2 items pending, in progress. Permit type was land use, stating ready to use. I just don't really understand what all that means, or if something's going on, or if things are at a standstill right now. But in addition to that, just a side note from my experience of coming to all these meetings, I remember the first planning and commissioning meeting of this year, Bob Seiko just didn't show up. He wasn't there, and nobody really knew why or where he was, and then they appointed Barry. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Carlos Pisano. Really quick, I want you to be careful about the words that Mr. Privita used about data, calling this data warehouse. These are all talking points from pro data center organizations to make it sound like it's a good thing or make it sound something different. So be aware of how things are addressed. Let's call it what it is. We all know what it is. We all know what they do. We all know how bad they are for us. We've been doing this. We've been coming here since December and tell you all about it. Holly's right. We're here. We're every day here. Every time. We wish we wouldn't be here, but we are here. I want to put that in front and make sure you guys hear that. Other point, going back to insurance policies and all that. As far as I know, I don't know how the contract is with this gentleman. You can change insurance whenever you want. You go out and you quote it. If you like it, you terminate that contract, you go to the other one. That's my understanding. I don't know how that is. Other things, there's many campaign contributions going to the supervisor. A lot of the service providers that we use contribute to him. So however that looks, I know they're entitled to do that, but however that looks, that's just putting that out there. That's all public information. It can be reviewed. Mr. Sacco donated a fair amount of money. Lisa Rapp, what's his name? Siponeri, he didn't. That's okay. Just sharing that piece of information. And again, I'm waiting on my call for my interview. I want to have a fair process. me and everyone else who applied. No one that applied from the previous position that was fulfilled by Dukai, no one was, it was mentioned that those people who applied, that were going to be considered for these openings, no one was considered. I don't know. No one knows. You guys don't know who was or how that process was selected. It is his full responsibility to fulfill that position. It is also your responsibility as trustees to challenge anything that's put in front of you. So just please do your job. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, elected officials update, community announcements. We are accepting applications for the Ethics Committee until August 31st, and we have applications at the counter at my office, or you can email, or you can check out the website. There's a link there. I am doing my monthly coffee chat on August 28th at 10 a.m. I didn't do it in July because the elections had taken up the whole building for 10 days early, so I couldn't do it during that time. That's why it wasn't done. Our next meeting is September 16th. With that, we're going to be almost a month. So we do have Labor Day will be closed, which is September 7th. That's also Romeo Peach Festival weekend. So there's a lot of events going on that weekend, of course. I think we do have a ZBA and a PC. Well, PC, of course. When's the ZBA?
ZBA
It's the week
14th.
after.
Yeah.
It'll be September 14th because September 7th, which it should have been on, but because of the holiday, it's being pushed out. But PC will be, I think, the 10th.
The 10th. Yep.
September 10th. So we got those all scheduled.
Yeah, just a quick reminder, all the taxes will be due on September the 14th, so please try to get that in as soon as you can. After September 1st, we're going to ask everybody not to drop them in the mail because mail has been delayed, and we don't want anybody, any type of penalties or fees because of the mail. We cannot control the mail. If you do drop it in the mail, that's your responsibility. We can't track it down. We have no way to track it. So please make sure you get it in before mail-wise on September the 1st. Also, to avoid the continued progress that we've made with priority waste, anything that is unpaid between October of 2025 through August of 2026 will be on your tax bill. So please make sure that that is current before the end of the month here. Otherwise, you will see this on your winter tax bill, which is coming out on December the 1st. We've renegotiated the contract, the agreement. They came in on August the 14th. We had 8 people come in. Last year, we had 200. So what we have in place in the progress, it's working, and we want to continue to make sure that the progress is working correctly as it should. So please make sure that your priority bill is up to date before the end of this month.
Speaking of priority, we did have our hazardous waste recycling day on August 9th, and we had 352 cars, so that was a very good turnout. And Priority Waste and ERG, who worked with them, did a fabulous job, so we appreciate everyone who turned out for that. And then we're having our paper shredding electronics recycling day, September 19th, at the Township Hall, 9 to 12. Election news, we had... Washington Township has 24,729 registered voters. Of that amount, 8,358 was the grand total who voted, which was 34%, which is a good number for a midterm primary. I'm sure we'll have more in the general, but that's a really good turnout. We had absentee voters, 5,326 absentee voters. Early voters, or EV voters, we had 581. But that number includes Washington, Ray, and Bruce because we share the early voting center. But the majority of the 581 was from Washington Township. Early voting for the general election starts Saturday, October 24th, and runs for 9 days through Sunday, November 1st. Election day is Tuesday, November 3rd, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And incidentally, I'd like to mention that the elections went well. We had so many great people who worked, inspectors and AV counting board, and just a lot of chairs and co-chairs. What wonderful, wonderful work. And my deputy, Mary Garamez, is like the queen of elections. So she does a wonderful job directing all of these people, and I've learned a great deal from her. Although everything went really well, we did have a little glitch. We have, in the early voting center, which is the senior center, everything was set up, everything was ready for the 9 days of early voting. We have cameras, all the cameras in the building, we covered them all, of course, for election security, so no one can be seen voting. Those were all covered as they should have been. One of the cameras, the covering fell off, and we found out about it like a day later. As soon as we found out, we covered it again, and that was fine. We had a resident who submitted a FOIA, who wanted to see, who was informed of one of the coverings falling off the camera. And that person submitted a FOIA, and he wants to see, he wants access to that camera that was accidentally uncovered and covered shortly afterward. He wants access to that to see how people were voting. We talked to our attorney, and we're not going to supply that. We're also dealing with the Bureau of Elections, and we just want you to know that we are not going to allow that. Yes, that camera should have been covered every single second. One of the coverings fell off, and it was replaced by our DPW guys as soon as, the building gentlemen, as soon as we found out. So we're going to double, triple, quadruple make sure that those coverings don't come off ever again. But in the meantime, we are not going to supply footage of people voting, even though it's a FOIA. We're not going to do that. And because voter security is number one. So we apologize that one of the coverings fell off temporarily, but we are not going to allow access to that, just so you know. Okay, thank you.
The Ethics Committee, the deadline is September 10th. I'm sorry, it's not August 31st. It's all on the website, so if you guys are interested. I said the wrong date before. In your packet is an update from Priority Waste. They have been improving under the new CEO. We still continue to get a complaint maybe once or twice a week, but overall it has died down. Mike can elaborate. This is our second year doing like an all-day event. We have representatives here from Priority Waste. They were here on Friday. Last year we had close to 100 people in 8 hours, or 200 almost. This year we had 8 residents, so it seems like the right trend out of 10,000 homeowners. So obviously it's never going to be 100%, but it looked like the right way, the trend. With that, I'd like to make the motion to go into closed session to consult with Township Attorney regarding trial or settlement strategy in connection with specific pending litigation in the matter of Miller 32 Mile LLC versus Washington Township at Macomb County Circuit Court, docket number 25-004554-AA, pursuant to Section 81E of the Open Meetings Act, and to consult with Township Attorney regarding the trial or settlement strategy in connection with specific pending litigation in the matter of statewide Van Dyke LLC versus the Charter Township of Washington, Macomb County Circuit Court, docket number 2026-003222-CH.
Support?
Motion by Praviti, supported by Brown. Roll call?
Praviti?
Yes.
Brown? Yes. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mylum?
Yes.
Reinhold?
Yes.
Nicely?
Yes.
Chaplain?
Okay, sure. Motion passed. We'll be back in a few minutes from closed session. Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to go into open session.
Support.
Okay, support. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we are back live in open session.
Motion adjourned.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Supported by everyone. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Playing, folks.
Have a happy Peach Festival coming up.
Yes.